In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie, Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q. Take a seat and go meet Ronnie. Sweet, 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 sweet Ronnie. No day complete without my Ronnie. She can't be beat. Sweet, sweet Ronnie.
Hello, Grand Rising to you all. What's going on? I hope you guys had a fabulous evening. We're almost done with the week. How you guys doing? Hey, Spicy Dicey. Hello, sis. Thank you for being here, and thank you for grabbing that membership for 11 months. I appreciate you so much. Kimberly Black, it's good to see you. Dr. Soapy, I'm coming, Dr. Soapy. I'm here. What's that song? Okay, Dr. Soapy, I got a song for you. What is that song? She's coming, she's coming, she's coming. She's coming, she's coming, she's coming. She's coming, she's coming, she's coming. She here. Dun, 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 dun. You remember that song, Dr. Soapy, or have you left? Hey, Tanya McNeil. Hey, Liz Livos, and blessings to you and your day. Come on in here. Okay, here I am. Good morning, Dr. Soapy. Uh, get it hip action. 3, 2, 1. Ashton 1.0 Grand Rising. I you can support in the chat as well. That is appreciated as well. No, oh, he's still here. No sinking. Oh my goodness. He's paying me not to sing. Well, I appreciate it. You learned something today. that is the reason why I am here, is to give you some information. I appreciate you coming by. I definitely appreciate you. Okay. I know I talked about the pardons on yesterday. I talked about all of the people who have been pardoned by this administration on yesterday. I know I talked about the people who were pardoned by 45, 47 on yesterday. But then there came a, they don't call, what is it? What, they don't call it a pardon. What is the one other one? Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember. Uh, Ridiculous pardons. When you're not pardoned, you commute, commuted. Uh, did you guys hear? A lot of people are running around saying that this was a pardon. No, it was a commute. Commute. He commuted the sentence. So 4547 commuted the sentence over the uh, one of the two guys who started the Gangster Disciples, the street gang, the Gangster Disciples. Did you guys hear about that? His sentence being commuted, and he said that he wants him out of jail immediately. I hope people do not fall for this. In my opinion, get your coffee. Oh, okay. I hope people don't fall for this. The reason why I hope people don't fall for this is because while he had uh, a life sentence in the federal courts, he also has a life sentence in the state courts. So, uh, him commuting him, there was no, oh, well, the Justice Department, they were too vigorous and like it is with the other folks, with all the other folks. Okay, so, and we're going to talk about another part that he's thinking about doing, which is crazy, though. So, um, he, um, This this guy from the Gangster Disciples, he's been in jail since the 70s. He's 74 years old. He also has a life sentence for state crimes. If people start pushing, if dummies start pushing for him to be released, the only way he could be released if the governor of Illinois give him a commuted sentence, which I highly doubt he will. I played an excerpt from the governor of Illinois over here when he was wearing 4547's ass out, the heavy set guy with kind of looked like an Italian heavy set guy. Uh, if you guys remember, I want to say Pataki, but that's not his name. But it begins with a P. I forget his name. Okay, so I doubt if he's going to commute him, but I feel in my spirit, the only reason he is giving somebody a commuting the sentence of someone who also have state child trial straight time is because he wants to commute or get Derek Chauvin out of jail. I think this is only an attempt to do the same thing with Derek Chauvin. Derek Chauvin has 20 or 21 years federal time, and they want to pardon Derek Chauvin. So, no pardon. They just want to commute this guy's sentence. See, when you get pardoned, you admit your wrongs. I have not seen any of the people pardon admit their wrongs. I hear them fall into the line that they were falsely prosecuted by a Biden justice system and all of this stuff. I haven't seen none of this. I have seen no repentance from any of these people. Now, who else is he talking about pardoning? He's talking about pardoning the people who were arrested for hatching a plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan, Christine Whitmire. They're talking about giving these four people a pardon. These four people who said that they wanted to make sure that they were ready to go and they wanted to make sure that they were going to fall through on it. He said something to the effect, oh, they probably were drunk or something. And I don't know. What are these number things for? I don't know what these crowns for. This is something new. Maybe you guys were the first three people in the chat. Yes, you guys were the first three people in the chat. I had one of those crowns on my name, and I was like, This is something new. I don't know. It has over on my side 25 XP, 75 XP. Hey, Queen Diva, Grand Rising. Hey, Detach Myself. It is good to see you as always. Okay. Uh, look, I got lost in. It's a community leaderboard. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that community leaderboard means, but it's there. It's there when we need it. Okay. So let me share with you what they were talking about with Whitmire. So we're going to talk about courts. If you don't know, the courts have blocked these tariffs, and there's that. And they've also blocked the thing that they also have blocked. They went to the courts asking that they dismiss any investigations, any court cases that have involved Elon Musk in Doge, and the court system said no. We are going to continue that court case. There are 12 states that have uh, lawsuits out on Doge, and the courts did not dismiss those cases. Those cases are going forward, so it's not going to be a cut and run. So thankfully, they didn't dismiss these cases under presidential powers or presidential secrets or none of the shit that 45, 47 tried to argue because they do not want Elon Musk to be deposed for some reason. I guess they think that that would not be good for business. Did you guys hear about that? And what do you think about that? Is what I want to know. Let me see what you guys are saying. Not much. Okay. Just meant to make sure I wasn't missing out on a conversation. So let me see if I can find the clip about. I think her name is Gretchen Whitmire is the governor of Michigan. Mhm. Also, did you hear that Pete Hegseth is in more trouble in the Pentagon? In more trouble. Remember when he fired his three friends? These are not people who he walked into the Pentagon and they had these positions. These were his friends, the people who he chose. Uh, and then he turned around and fired them for leaks in the Pentagon. Come to find out that motherfucker went and got some unauthorized NSA wiretaps put on his alleged friends. That's what he has reported to the president office that he had them wiretapped, and that's why he know that they are the one who was giving out information, factual information about him. This information he never denied, but he said that the leak is the problem. So he said that they were leaking the information, that he had a whole new app in his office that he was not supposed to put on his uh, Pentagon computer. And that's not the problem. That he has a unapproved app on his actual Pentagon computer so that he can still log on to the app that got him trouble signal in the first place. So now he's saying that he did uh, a unlawful NSA tap on his friends. These are his friends. Okay, so let's check out that story. Here we go. Let me share this screen first. It's nothing more that I like is to knock down Hexeth. Bombshell investigation. Okay. Found illegal warrantless NSA wiretap inside the Pentagon. Here we go.
Security level that the White House doesn't. The other problem is at a national security level that the White House doesn't trust the Pentagon. What is happening here? This is like a soap opera. This is a scandal that is just now happening. We're just finding out, can you hear that? We're just whispers of what's taking place. And in the following weeks, my prediction is this thing's going to blow up because this is MAGA against MAGA. This is the defense secretary against the White House, against trying to shut this story down because there is an alleged national security agency, the NSA, an illegal, unconstitutional wiretap of domestic individuals that is being alleged here. Being alleged that the Pentagon is being surveilled by the NSA through illegal, again, unconstitutional wiretaps, unauthorized wiretaps. It's going to be a big one. And we're just starting to hear about it now. This is from The Guardian. White House stunned as Hegseth inquiry brings up illegal wiretap claims. Exclusive. Trump advisors lose confidence in Pentagon leak investigation Hegseth used to justify firing 3 top aides. So they started this investigation about a leak, right? When the whole signal thing broke. And then when that investigation starts turning up things that they don't want to be made public, all of a sudden, we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about this. This is too much. Because let me tell you, if they can wiretap the Pentagon, and if they have indeed wiretapped the Pentagon, there's no hope for any of us. There's no hope for you and me not being illegally surveilled under this police state. The White House has lost confidence in a Pentagon leak investigation that Pete Hegseth used to justify firing 3 top aides last month after advisors were told the aides had supposedly been outed by an illegal, warrantless national security agency wiretap. The extraordinary explanation alarmed the advisors, who also raised it with people close to J.D. Vance, because such a wiretap would almost certainly be unconstitutional and an even bigger scandal than a number of leaks. But the advisors found the claim to be untrue and complained that they were being fed dubious information by Hegseth's personal lawyer, Tim Parlatore, who has been tasked with overseeing the investigation.
Now, this is what I don't understand. How is Tim Parlatore tasked with overseeing the investigations when, in fact, the fact that Tim Parlatore and Hegseth's wife was on one of these signal calls in question? So how is he tasked with doing the investigation? So I linked this in my description box. Go over there and finish the story. If they are doing it on their friends who they give a job, what won't they do to a regular American citizen? That's all I want you guys to get from this. So they are eating each other's face. They've ate enough ass that they are now in the process of eating each other face over there in the Pentagon. I guess they didn't run out of ass to kiss, so now they have gotten to the faces. Okay, so I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Let me see. There is something else that I wanted to show you. Hold on 1 second. I can't find it. Okay. Hey, Madison. Watergate, been done. Uh, Grand Rising, Bernice. It is good to see you. Yes, please like the video. I would greatly appreciate that. Kiss, miss you, Nappy Child. Did Nappy Child come in here and I didn't see her? No, I guess that's I don't see Nappy Child. I guess you're just saying, hey, when you get here, I hope you see this message. Where is Nappy Child? I don't see Nappy Child. Now, Liz is talking to Nappy Child. Nappy Child, did I miss you? If I did, Grand Rising, Nappy Child. Okay. Oh, you are here. I didn't see you. Grand Rising, Nappy Child. It is good to see you. So I wanted to talk about. I was going to the Gretchen Whitmire clip I have. Okay, here we go. Let's get back on track. Let me get back on track. Do, 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 do. Don't tell me I didn't put it on here. I, I, I. I cannot believe I didn't put it on here. Let me get it. Let me get it because this is worth hearing the bullshit of it all. Here we go. And it's funny. I don't think that he even have any of this in his mind. Well, he may have some of this in his mind, but these questions just come out of the blue, and then there are a aim of something for him to do. It's weird how that happens. Here we go. This is a reporter asking him, will he pardon the kidnappers, the guys who had the scheme to kidnap Governor Whitmire?
Will you pardon the people who are accused of conspiring to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer?
I'm going to look at it. I will take a look at it. It's been brought to my attention. I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad.
How did you watch the trial? Was that trial? I don't know. Can anybody ask me, was that trial even televised? He has watched the trial. I don't know. People have asked me about it. Who asked you about this other than this random reporter? I watched the trial.
Job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. They were drinking, and I think they said stupid things. But I'll take a look at that. And a lot of people are asking me that question from both sides, actually.
Okay, so that's how it came up. And now it's a full blown thing. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find the greater conversation. Here we go.
Local 4 News starts now with a.
Let's see what the local 4 news can give us about the details. I don't know any details about the crime other than that they had everything that they needed to actually go in there and uh, succeed. And I didn't hear anything more. You know how some of these people get arrested and you never hear anything else about them after they're arrested. But
Breaking news alert.
We begin first at 4 with that breaking news from the White House. Within the past few hours, President Trump was asked if he'd pardon Barry Croft, Adam Fox, and others who were convicted of plotting to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Here's his answer.
I'm going to look at it. I will take a look at it. It's been brought to my attention. I did watch the trial. It looked to me like somewhat of a railroad job. I'll be honest with you. It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. You know, they were drinking, and I think they said stupid things. But I'll take a look at that. And a lot of people are asking me that question from both sides, actually. A lot of people think they got railroaded. A lot of people think they got railroaded.
The president making that statement just moments after swearing in Jeanine Pirro as the new U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C.
She think he maybe he has been in too close contact with Jeanine Pirro, and that I think that they were drinking came up. There has been no reports of them drinking. They were drinking and they said something and they were railroaded. Maybe the drinking is being in too close proximity to drunky Jeanine Pirro. I don't know where any of this come from about they were drinking and they may have said something that someone took seriously or something. No, we cannot take you seriously. This is what we cannot take seriously. This is our commander-in-chief. Is there any more? And this man is such trash. I wanted to get more details on what they admitted to or what was stated in the trials. Okay. And Jeanine Pirro, you sat up here and you pretended like you agreed with all of this stuff as a actual judge and just to be on Fox News programming. And now you really have to sit up here and watch the show. If you look at her, she this may be a
15
bit.
men were charged in the plan to kidnap. Ellie, thank you. President Donald Trump.
You may have to really listen to all the foolishness that he says now. You can't just pretend you watched him and turn off the TV and then just spit out talking points. You have to listen to all the foolishness. And if you, at different moments in this press conference, look at Jeanine Pirro's face, she is trying to hold her laughter in. Let's find out more about this crime that people have been talking about me on both sides. Bitch, are you serious about pardoning people who have planned to kidnap a governor?
Right, Kelly, thank you. President Donald Trump says he's looking into pardoning the men convicted in a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. He made the comments today while answering questions from reporters in the Oval Office after a swearing-in ceremony. 14 men were charged in the plan to kidnap Governor Whitmer back in 2020. 9 were convicted. The president said he watched the trial and also questioned the legitimacy of the case.
It looked to me like some people said some stupid things. You know, they were drinking, and I think they said stupid things. But I'll take a look at that. And a lot of people are asking me that question from both sides, actually. A lot of people think they got railroaded.
We have reached out to Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office for comment, but we have not heard back. Back in 2020, the governor placed some of the blame for the plot on the president's rhetoric.
Okay.
We cross live to our reporter Vanessa Puna.
Okay. That's all I have on that. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't imagine that trial was on TV. He said he watched the trial. All this shit is beyond crazy. It is beyond crazy. Grand Rising of Viewers Review. Good to see you this morning. So this is what we're doing. I can't listen to him too much. Oh, he is just sickening. He's definitely sickening. Hold on 1 second. I gotta sneeze. Okay, I'm back. Now, I saw something that happened in the UN yesterday. I'm just going to put this right here. If you guys need to take a break or do anything, this is hard to hear. I'll put it that way. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not sharing it. I got to share it for you guys to hear it. Okay, let me share this with you guys. I think it is very hard to hear, but I think it needs to be heard.
The Council. My name is Dr. Feroz Sidwa. I am an American trauma and critical care surgeon based in Stockton, California. I come before you today to speak about the Gaza Strip, where I have volunteered twice since October 7th. First at European Hospital from March 25th to April 8th of last year, and most recently at Nasser Medical Complex from March 6th to April 1st of 2025. Both are in the city of Khan Yunis. I'm not here as a policymaker or a politician. I'm a physician bearing witness to the deliberate destruction of a healthcare system, the targeting of my own colleagues, and the erasure of a people. The Constitution of the World Health Organization states that the health of all peoples is fundamental to the attainment of peace and security and is dependent on the fullest cooperation of individuals and states. I've taken this to heart, and it is the reason I volunteer in conflict zones from Haiti to Ukraine to Gaza. In Gaza, I operated in hospitals without sterility, electricity, or anesthetics. Surgeries took place on crowded and filthy floors. Children died not because their injuries were unsurvivable, but because we lacked blood, antibiotics, and the most basic supplies that are readily available in any large hospital anywhere else in the world. I did not see or treat a single combatant during my 5 weeks in Gaza. My patients were 6-year-olds with shrapnels in their heart and bullets in their brains, and pregnant women whose pelvises had been obliterated and their fetuses cut in two while still in the womb. Mothers sheltering in the hospital cooked bread on hot plates in the emergency department during mass casualty events, as we dealt with the rain of fire and death falling around us everywhere. Mr. President, the foundations of life in Gaza, family, health, and community, have been shattered. The medical system has not failed. It has been systematically dismantled through a sustained military campaign that has willfully violated international humanitarian law. Civilians are now dying not just from the constant airstrikes, but from acute malnutrition, sepsis, exposure, and despair. Between my 2 visits to Gaza, I witnessed a sharp decline in patients' health, driven not just by injury, but by worsening hunger and malnutrition that left their bodies weaker, their wounds slower to heal, and their survival far less certain. And let's not forget, this is a man-made catastrophe. It is entirely preventable. Participating in it or not, allowing it to happen is a choice. This is a deliberate denial of conditions necessary for life: food, shelter, water, and medicine. Preventing genocide means refusing to normalize these atrocities. It means refusing to dehumanize the Palestinians, to refuse to see them as calories counted or numbers of trucks moved. We see now that this way of thinking has brought about a human dignity crisis with an entire people on the edge of survival. On March 18th, the ceasefire was violated by Israel. That day, I witnessed the most extreme mass casualty event of my career at Nasser Medical Complex. 221 trauma patients arrived in one morning. 90 were dead on arrival. Nearly half were severely injured children. No health system on earth could cope with this, least of all one that is besieged and starved of supplies. Hospitals are meant to be sanctuaries. Healthcare workers and first responders are supposed to be protected. Children are supposed to be protected. In Gaza, these protections are simply gone. Every day, the distinction between combatant and civilian is erased. Most of my patients were preteen children, their bodies shattered by explosives and torn by flying metal. Many died. Those who lived often awoke to find their entire families gone. Last year, I published in the New York Times a survey of 65 American healthcare workers who had served in Gaza. 83% of them reported seeing children shot in the head or the chest. I personally treated 13 such cases in my 2 weeks at European Hospital. According to the War Child Alliance, nearly half of Gaza's children are suicidal. They ask, why didn't I die with my sister, my mother, my father? Not out of extremism, but out of unbearable grief. I wonder if any member of this council has ever met a 5-year-old child who no longer wants to live, let alone imagined a society in which so many young children feel this way. And what astonishes me is not that some children in Gaza have lost the will to live, but that any still cling to hope. My Palestinian friends, mostly healthcare workers, no longer speak of resilience or even survival. Parents memorize their children's clothing in case they must identify their remains later. They pray for one piece of bread to give them before they sleep so that their children might die less hungry if they are killed at night. And meanwhile, my Israeli and American friends express horror at what is being done in their names. Many of us cannot understand how our governments continue to arm this senseless destruction, but you in this chamber have the power to stop it. Mr. President, I am here because I have witnessed what is happening in Gaza with my own eyes, especially to children, and I cannot pretend not to have seen it. You too cannot claim ignorance. I urge the Council, and especially my own government, to act with urgency on these enforceable measures. 1, demand an immediate and permanent ceasefire, including a halt to all arms transfers to all parties to the conflict, alongside targeted and lawful sanctions on Israel. 2, demand the reopening of all of Gaza's crossings and guarantee unrestricted medical evacuations, including to hospitals in the West Bank and East Jerusalem, where Palestinian patients can be treated by Palestinian doctors, with safe return to Gaza assured. 3, guarantee sustained humanitarian access throughout Gaza, allowing all essential supplies, shelter, food, water, fuel, to be treated by Palestinian doctors.
I want you to see the look on his face because he stood up there beforehand and talked about how they are still killing combatants and they must continue the fight until the 58 hostages are brought back because they have families that are worrying about them and all of this, all of this. So I just wanted to show you who is still sitting in the UN Council trying to justify this man right here. That's why they have the camera on his face as this doctor is telling you his experience with children. And you see his hardened face. This is 2025, and you would think, and America is definitely on the wrong side of this genocide. Not Americans, our government, and has always been, even under Biden, has been on the wrong side of this conflict, in my opinion. I just have my opinion.
doctors, with safe return to Gaza assured. 3, guarantee sustained humanitarian access throughout Gaza, allowing all essential supplies, shelter, food, water, fuel, and medical supplies to reach all people in need. 4, strongly and explicitly reject the weaponization and politicization of aid embodied by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, whose executive director, a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps, publicly resigned on Sunday, citing the foundation's lack of adherence to humanitarian principles. We must affirm support for existing UN mechanisms, back UNRWA, and ensure NGOs with expertise in reaching and providing specialized care to those in need have unimpeded full access. 5, the immediate and unconditional release of all hostages. 6, the immediate and unconditional release of all healthcare workers, including Dr. Hussam Abu Sufia, now held in Israeli detention for more than 150 days. And 7, without delay, uphold the UN Charter and act now to prevent genocide. One day, Gaza survivors may have a record of the empty promises made by the members of this council as their wounds deepened and their lives were lost. If this council remains silent and fails to act now, that record will stand as a testament to a global failure to provide urgent care and to the collapse of our collective conscience. I'm pleading with you to do what you were entrusted to do, to protect international peace and security, and to prevent irreversible harm. The steps I mentioned are the very least that is needed. I'm asking my own government's representative to hear the voices of the majority of Americans who are calling for the same. If this continues, there will be no Palestinian doctors left, no one to care for the sick and wounded. There will be no Palestinians left to rebuild the healthcare system. We are losing a generation before our eyes, condemning people to die of hunger, disease, and despair, deaths that could be easily prevented. Thank you.
Okay, I wanted you guys to hear that. I was watching this yesterday. There are so many nations. There are so many nations that saying that the UN must intercede in this right now. So many nations talking about we can no longer sit around and act like and ignore this and act like we don't see it going on. 2025, after knowing the history of how people don't give a shit and they will wipe out a whole race of people because of behind hatred. We're seeing this here in America. We are really seeing this here in America. No crime is a crime if you're on my team, type of shit. It's not being. The media is not on top of this shit as they should be. Things are just flying wild and loose. All of this hatred that goes on in this country based upon a party or a class of people or a color of people. So let's not forget the battle is in classism as well. At a time in America when the homeless population is doubling and tripling, at the same time the cost of living is doing the same, and we think that the only conversation that should be held in Congress, in Senate, the only conversation being held right now is motherfucking tax cuts for the rich. See, that's where the war is. All of these, everything that is being built in different states, everything that's being built in these different states is for the tech bros and the tech people, and these are the only people that matter in the United States of America. Like these are the only people that any new building is done for. These people who are highly paid. That's the only infrastructure that is being built for them to live. While people act like, oh well, it's nothing we can do about the homeless problem. Oh well, all you what they call that uh, something mile in New York City where they have all of these empty condos that people from other nations bought for their second or third residence, and nobody lives in these. They have empty halls because so few people are actually live in America and actually physically live in these condos. These grand, high-rise, very expensive places that they are building, knowing that they are going to be vacant, but they cannot figure out how to build economy or any type of sustainability for the poorest of the poor, other than to have them living in the fucking streets in every city in America. And this is what we're talking about, tax cuts for the rich. Hey, Kingsmina, Church Mouse, it's good to see you. It's just it's really disgusting. It really is disgusting. Hey, Miss T Velocity, it's good to see you. Grand Rising. Yeah. Anyway, let me. So there were. If you didn't watch this UN Security Council, I would advise you to go check it out. Now, while all of this happened yesterday, this is something else that happened. Now, it has been reported that Netanyahu didn't want it to look bad. They have been starving the Gaza people for over 11 weeks after they broke their own ceasefire. They have been starving them for 11 weeks. But so people were starting to have too much compassion. So he let a couple of bottles of baby formula in. This aid that they're saying, this food aid that they're saying that they're allowing in, they said that this is baby formula because they don't want to feed Hamas. You starve people for 11 weeks. You don't think they're going to eat everything, whatever it is in there. They had no food, no water, no oil, no electricity, nothing. And most importantly, they had no medical aid coming in. So I'm going to let you see, and you see these people running to these aid trucks, just running, damn near trampling over each other because they're so desperate. But then what starts to happen? Let's see what starts to happen. And that guy with the frown on his face, he said that, no, we didn't do that. It just took the Americans to a little while to get in their place. And, now he's trying to blame it on the Americans. America, they're trying to blame this on us.
By the Gaza.
With the administration we have in place, and with the things that they would do upon his command, I can't say it's not us, but I'm just saying, I'm just going to show you what happened.
Humanitarian Foundation in the center of Gaza Strip. There have been multiple explosions near a food distribution point opened by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation in the center of Gaza Strip. It's after Israeli shots were fired near one of the aid points in the south on Wednesday. We're going to go to Tariq up on Zoom. He's joining us from Deir al-Balah in central Gaza. Tariq, what more do we know?
So Israeli is denying, no, we didn't shoot into the people who trying to get aid. They're using, they're using food as an opportunity to shoot upon a crowd of people. Can you, what the fuck is going on? These are supposed to be human. This motherfucker was sitting in our White House a couple of weeks ago, and with a smile on his face, as our 4547 said, some of the most egregious shit in the room. And as this, the leader of this nation, sat there with a smile on his face. You got to peep the optics. Did you not see 45, 47 say, "Oh, we got to get them all out of there, and let the other people come in, and there's nothing you can do with that place, and we're gonna, rebuild that place, and we'll let everybody else come in, and it could be a great place, this waterfront property, and it could be a great place." We didn't see that. The idea that all of the people were going to be taken out of Gaza came out of 45, 47's mouth first. Netanyahu had not had the nerve to say that he was going to flatten Gaza. But who said it? 45, 47 said it. That's who said it first. Be clear. Okay, let's go. Netanyahu was pretending like he's still fighting Hamas. Netanyahu was acting like they are still in the war. Let's continue.
Well, Rob, what we do know so far is that since the early hours of this morning, civilians started to crowd in gathering areas and on all roads that are leading to the newly formed distribution point in the central areas of Gaza, run by Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which has been the responsible body for distributing aid in Gaza over the past 4 days, backed full by the American administration and the Israeli side. We have heard just 30 minutes ago a huge explosion coming from the vicinity of Netzarim corridor, where civilians have been gathering there in order to get food parcels. Many of them managed, in fact, to get some food boxes and returned safe to their temporary shelters here in the central area, while others are still unable to get any food parcels because of the massive number of people. We are talking about thousands of people are right now located in Salahuddin Road, and they are waiting for permission to reach this area. But eyewitnesses confirmed that Israeli military tanks started to approach close to the crowds of people there and started to shoot at them, forcing hundreds to back to the central areas of Gaza without getting any kind of aid. So it's a very controversial manner by the Israeli military. At the same time, Israel says they are so keen to alleviate the current food crisis away from giving Hamas the opportunity to get aid. And when civilians started to move to the designated distribution points run by the American company, they started to shoot at them. Gaza's health ministry, in fact, reported that over the past 48 hours, 9 Palestinians were killed and over 60 others were wounded while they were trying to get aid from the designated distribution centers. This mechanism is completely failing to meet the wide-scale extensive demands of Gaza's population. The warnings made by UN agencies and other aid organizations were not only bureaucratic statements, they were emergency alarms, as without the full restoration of humanitarian corridors, the left of the blockades, and the protection of aid workers and civilians alike, Gaza will continue to sink into further waves and waves of famine. And this has been the outcome of this restriction and the ongoing mechanism of aid distribution led by Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is merely and completely, by the way, triggering some sort of civil disorder in Gaza, as many reports also are coming from northern Gaza from our colleagues there, confirming that people started to move to the Netzarim corridor from the eastern end of Gaza City, and they have been shot by the Israeli military. And many of the aid has been looted by desperate families who have been completely unable to afford the minimal level of humanitarian basic necessities for their children.
Tarek, we're just looking at some of the pictures now that we've been getting in of the kind of explosion that has been happening. We've been seeing the clouds of smoke and dust that have been rising on the horizon. I appreciate, of course, that you're in Deir al-Balah outside the main hospital there. Is there any indication just how close that explosion happened to the distribution point and to the crowds of people who had been gathering?
It was very close. In fact, the explosion has rocked the entire vicinity of the Netzarim corridor. But families, we have been hearing from them that they are no longer fear of death because they are simply hungry. They say that we will go to the designated distribution points in order to get food supplies for our mothers and for our children in order to survive, because the famine rates in Gaza have been spiraling out of control because people believe that Israel has been choking the flow of aid into Gaza, and now they are not allowing for UN agencies to have a fair and transparent mechanism to distribute aid throughout the 400 distribution points that they have. And with the sufficient
So what he's saying, they are not allowing the UN to distribute the aid. Let's be clear. So why did this motherfucker get up at the UN Council and say this? Let's hear from Stoneface. Let's hear from Stoneface. Why did this motherfucker get up here and share this bullshit? Here he is, right here.
It is no coincidence that this statement was made just 2 days before Yaron and Sarah were murdered. We cannot ignore the role that reckless remarks play in fueling violence. Mr. Fletcher and others like him must be held accountable.
Okay, he's. I'm trying to get it at the very beginning of his bullshit. He is saying that the person that came out said 14,000 of children were on the verge of death, and he said you conveniently said this 2 days after your leader was killed. They said the leader of Hamas was killed. I mean, I've heard the leader of Hamas has been killed so many times. So allegedly, finally on yesterday, while he was at the UN, he said, "You said 14,000 children were dying, as if you were just trying to get them to stop the bombing." And this happened to be 2 days. Before your leader was killed. See, he's talking about death. And so if the leader's killed, why are you still bombing? That's the question. The leader is killed now. You said they wanted to lie. They lied and said 14,000 children were on the brink of dying from famine. And now he wants to make a point. This is his point. He's making a point. Let's hear what he has to say.
2 young people on the diplomatic staff at Israel's embassy in Washington, D.C., Yaron Lishinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram, were murdered on the street as they were leaving the Capital Jewish Museum. They were a couple. Yaron was planning to propose this week in Jerusalem. They were gunned down in cold blood by a terrorist screaming, "Free Palestine." This was an act of anti-Semitic terrorism.
This happened in the United States. What did that have to do with you starving people in Gaza? This happened in the United States in Washington, D.C. What does that have to do with what you're doing in Gaza? Absolutely nothing. This is anti-Semitism. This is anti-Semitism. They're the only ones that should have protection. Is this what we're saying? Of course, it was wrong for anybody to get killed in the street. Anybody. But what does this have to do with this war you're fighting and all these people who you guys are starving out?
However, the gunman was the last link in a much longer chain, one that stretches from hate-filled protests on social media, lies, and to the halls of the United Nations. When UN officials like Mr. Tom Fletcher accuse Israel of genocide, when they irresponsibly claim that, quote, and I quote it now, 14,000 babies will die in the next 48 hours, they are not engaging in advocacy. They are engaging in incitement. That claim was a lie. Mr. Fletcher quietly retracted it, but the damage was already done. It is no coincidence that this statement was made just 2 days before Yaron and Sarah were murdered. We cannot ignore the role that reckless remarks play in fueling violence. Mr. Fletcher and others like him must be held accountable. Meanwhile, Israel continues to act with restraint and responsibility, even in the face of lies. We are facilitating humanitarian aid into Gaza, through two mechanisms: the existing track crossings and a new system created in coordination with the US and international partners. Since May 19, almost 9,000 tons of aid have entered Gaza, carrying food, medical supplies, and shelter equipment. In the past 2 weeks, 4 new aid distribution centers were established inside Gaza. 2 of them are already open. Those centers distribute food packages to thousands of families, despite Hamas establishing roadblocks and checkpoints to prevent civilians from reaching the aid. As we speak, there are more than 400 trucks already on the Gaza side of the fence, waiting to be distributed, but the UN has failed to pick them up. We opened the crossings, we provided safe routes for those trucks, but the UN did not show up. So let me be clear. The UN must stop spreading panic and start moving aid. Put your ego aside.
He's telling the UN that you must put your ego aside. We did everything. We opened up passages for you, and you heard that the reporter on the ground said that the UN had not shown up. Was it? Is it their ego? Isn't that what the UN is there to do? So, do you believe this man's when they say that they had opened up all passages for them, and you see all of this shooting that's going on in these open passages for the UN? Now we're getting down to the matter of what happened on yesterday. So let's hear this propaganda. Propaganda at its height.
Pick up the aid and do your job. Finally, as negotiations for the release of the hostages continue, the facts remain. Israel accepted the most recent deal, Hamas rejected it. We will not stop defending our people. We will not abandon our hostages who have been held for 600 days now. We will not apologize for fighting back against terror. Thank you.
Okay, so but before you had any hostages held by Hamas, how many hostages were you guys holding? For how many days? Or can we count it in years? Maybe it'll simplify it if we just count it in the years of the hostages that you guys had been holding prior to there ever being a hostage held over there. So miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with all of this bullshit, because I'm kind of fed up with people going by their lives like nothing fucking matter. They're not even reporting on what's going on in Africa. They're not even bothered to report on the genocide that's going on in Africa. And they're not even reporting what's going on in your own nation. They're not reporting on the suffering going on in your own nation, as they have people who are mentally ill just roaming the streets at their at their own peril, at your peril, at whatever. They are not trying to take care of their own while they're sending all of this money, all of this equipment, all of these bombs over there to a whole nother nation, and to fight a fucking war against people who are pinned up in the corner of a fucking a country that has been police all of this time. And we need to send all of these type of bombs into this nation while our own nation is suffering, while our own people are suffering, while we have a steady flow of our own people who are being tossed out on the street, have no place to go, who are living in their cars because I'm talking about the people who choose to get a tricked out van and live in their van and drive across the country. They try to make that seem like these are the only people who live in their vehicles. It's by choice. No, some people are living in their vehicle by necessities. And then what do the states do? These people obviously have nowhere to go. If their tags get expired, they'll they'll not repo, they'll tow the car away. And now these people are where? Destined for the street. See, this is the real America that we're living in. This is the real America that we're living in. But everybody on YouTube is independently wealthy, so they don't see that. They don't know that. That is not them. That is America, though. That is America, and that's the America that we are living in. And these are the people who are being ignored for billionaires. That's all I got to say about that. So I just wanted you guys to see that. So I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. I had more things on the docket, but I'm not getting any feedback. So I'll leave it in the docket. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. Have a great weekend. I have some things I'm doing. I may not be back tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.